The following is an FTZ production for Canada House Clinics.
Welcome to Canada House Clinics in Oromocto. My name is Joe, and I've been a client here since 2015. In 2016, I started volunteering, mostly helping out in their peer support activities. Peer support's not quite what you think it is, but we'll dig into that a little bit later on in future videos. Today we're celebrating 20 years of marijuana for medical purposes in Canada. We're having a barbecue for our clients and staff. As well, we're going to show you how we roll 100 pre-rolled joints with a Futurola knockbox. It is serious business at times, and we're going to talk a little bit about the history of cannabis in Canada and just what I found through general research just by Googling marijuana for medical purposes in Canada. It's quite an amazing little story, actually. I hope you'll stick around for it. Anyway, we'll get started and we'll roll 100 joints and then we'll start the barbecue. Hope you stick around till the end, and I'll talk to you then. Hi, welcome to Canada House Clinics Client Lounge. Out here in the back part of Canada House Clinics, we do have a little lounge area for our clients to come and relax and to consume their medicine in a quiet, safe atmosphere with other veterans usually right now. So anyway, today I'm going to roll 100 joints. I'm going away from vacation, and I need some cones rolled. This is a Futurola knockbox, and it does 100 at a time. I pre-ground 65 grams of Bubba Kush and 15 grams of critical mass, CBD critical mass. The knockbox is pretty simple. I'm going to do it in hyperlapse, but it's just got a load tray where you put the cannabis in, right? And it's got a drop thingy, and this is where the cones fit. Show you right quick. Here are the cones. They come in a box like this, and you just grab the cone and you just go along and go boop, 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 right? And once I get all 100 in, then you'll see it on hyperlapse. So sit back, enjoy, and I'll talk to you at the end of the video. Okay, there you have it. 99 joints, pre-rolls. So if you're wondering when you go to Cannabis NB or something to buy them, that's how they do it. Or even any of your LPs when they have pre-rolls. So you can do that on your own with any mixture you want to do. It's not something we do for people here, but we can certainly show you how to use it. And the cones are provided for veterans free of charge. So if you want to try, absolutely stop by and we'll get you set up. You need about 70 grams ground up of whatever you choose, and you'll usually have about that left over. That's probably about what, 6 grams, probably 5 or 6 grams. That took about 25 minutes to pre-roll 100, so it's not too bad. I said 35 to 40, but I've done this quite a few times, so there is a little bit of a system, and cleanup takes a few minutes, but it's well worth it. I mean, for the next 3.5 weeks, I'm going to have my daily dosages of Bubba Kush with CBD already pre-rolled. So that's awesome. This is another section of the client lounge area at Canada House Clinics here in Oromocto. Today, 7:30, 20 years of legalized medical cannabis in Canada. We're going to have a little giveaway, and we got a little bit of food on. Probably, I don't know, 20 people maybe, 24. It's a rainy day. And yeah, we'll just step outside here. So here we are outside Canada House Clinics in Oromocto. Really rainy day, 30th of July. And we're going to have a barbecue for our clients and staff. And yeah, just on. There. Need some barbecue sauce and some other stuff.
So I'm just reading on some history about cannabis and legalization, and it's funny because I went on the Canadian Encyclopedia, right? And you would think that it'd be a little bit different than what I'm reading, right? Because it says cannabis is a type of flowering plant that originated in Asia but is grown around the world. This is true. The plant has a wide variety of uses, right? Okay, so now their next words is just going to kind of point out to you the stigma that I'm dealing with. So instead of talking about as a prescribed medication first, and the good things it can do, it goes on. This is the Canadian Encyclopedia. Cannabis, also known as marijuana, among countless other names, is a psychoactive intoxicant that was banned in Canada from 1923 until medical cannabis became legal in 2001. So then we're going to go back down to where I just started at when I talked about including as the plant has a wide variety of uses, including as a recreational hallucinogen or as a prescribed medicine. I'm going to argue that point that it's a recreational hallucinogen. I'm going to argue the point that it's a hallucinogen of any type, because it's not. Marijuana, THC, is not a hallucinogen. It's just not. It doesn't make you hallucinate. I can't get past the recreational hallucinogen. And I can't get past that. I'm going to have to close this one and try to find some. To produce a high, the plant's leaves and flower buds can be dried and smoked, called marijuana, pot, and weed, among countless other names. Medication.
Terrence Parker, in the late 80s, he got busted several times for consuming cannabis to treat his epilepsy. And 99 landed in the Ontario Supreme Court. And the Ontario Supreme Court ruled that that was unconstitutional, that he couldn't have cannabis for medical purposes. So in 2001, Health Canada introduced the Marijuana for Medical Purposes Act, and that gave Canadians legal right to marijuana for medical purposes. And I just kind of giggled because I read articles where it was pretty specific what they were talking about, what cannabis was used for back then, and it was so narrow. You know what I mean? It was just such a narrow thing. But if you go back to in the 70s, in the early 70s, if things would have changed then in Canada. So if you went back there and government would have actually listened to the Dane Commission, which they established to study the problem, or the perceived problem, and actually the only problem was tying up criminal courts with just useless stuff. And they would have decriminalized it. Right then in 1970, stigma would have started to change. Instead of, I grew up, I would have been 4 years old. And then so I grew up with that devil's lettuce, and it's bad for you, and you smoke that and you're going to be a lunatic and you're going to be crazy. But I can remember, marijuana for medical purposes and hearing about it. And there was no internet back then. You had to read about that stuff, right? So actually I had to pick up a book. It just seemed like there was quite a list of things that it could help with. And I was very unaware and very unknowledgeable about cannabis whatsoever. And using it more as a recreational thing. And not even that much, because
at that time, you know, when I was in the military, that cannabis was frowned upon, man. People lost their careers for smoking a joint. And we were always threatened of being drug tested. It was constant. Right from the time I joined the military in 1985, it was constant that you were going to have to piss in a bottle. You go away on leave, you're going to have to piss in a bottle when you get back. If you're going on tour, you're going to have to piss in a bottle. I never have pissed in any bottle. Just saying. Not from the military anyway. Flunked a few piss tests on City Street. Yep. But I was just using it as medicine, you know, and I didn't even know it then. And what a place, you know, 20 years later after it became legal. Look at this and I think, man, if they would have just changed that law in 1970 and started studying cannabis in 1970, right? How far would they have been now with its uses? I mean, it's only been 20 years and look where we're at, right? We're taking, just from my point of view, we're taking veterans that some of those were on from 8 to 14 pharmaceuticals a day, right? Now they're on none and living good lives, you know? How far could we have been? Because if we're only 20 years now and like companies and big companies are just really starting to explore and, you know, do trials and tests on what cannabis and the trichomes and CBD and all the good stuff can actually help with, they learn more every day, right? So where could we have been? You know, I really feel like so many lives could have been changed so much earlier instead of now we're just talking, wow, it's only been 20 years since it's been legal. Yeah, but the millennia before 1920, it was legal because there wasn't illegal, and it was used for medicine, and it was used for recreation, and it was used for ceremony, and it was used for textiles. And, you know, we elect our government to be the voice of the people. That's how you get elected. You speak for the people. And the parliament in the 1920s decided they weren't going to even discuss this with the people. They were going to decide what was best for the people on their own. And then in the 70s, when the Lodain Commission came around and asked the people, the majority of the people didn't want it to be criminalized. They wanted decriminalized. And they had a chance then. They had a chance then. They could have changed the course of history right then and chose to change it. And then maybe research could have spawned more and things would have developed quicker. You know what I mean? And maybe we could have been celebrating 50 years of legal cannabis in Canada. Wouldn't that be something? You know? And I wonder 30 years from now what that'll be like. That'll put me at 80. Whew. Might not see that one. You know, 85, geez. Never know. I wanted to point out one quick number to you. Do you know that there's over 300,000, it's like 340 something thousand medical patients in Canada? Yeah, 340,000 registered patients with Health Canada, like me, that have an actual doctor's certificate, and I require my medicine from a licensed producer. Right? That makes me smile. It does. What a great number. You know, that's 340,000 people who are getting benefit from cannabis that 20 years ago they couldn't have. 340,000 people, and their lives have probably changed, right? So if that number's plateaued and it's not going down, is what I read. So we're going to say that those 340,000 people are quite happy with their prescription and it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Medical cannabis sales through licensed producers, I mean, they're doing really well. Their sales are up, and you know, people are using the medicine and gaining benefit from it. 340,000 people. And then you got to think that out of that 340,000 people, there's got to be at least one person for every person that sees that change. Right? And I realize that some people are alone and nobody knows. And I realize that some people have a spouse and 2 children. And I'm sure you understand what I'm saying when I say, you know what I mean? It's just an average, and we know it's probably more than that. So if 340,000 Canadians are accessing cannabis for medical purposes and using cannabis as a medication as prescribed by your doctor, right? Just 680,000 people that are being directly affected by somebody's medical use of cannabis. And I'd be willing to bet 680,000 people would say that it's good. Right? It's not perfect. It doesn't cure things. Nothing does. Does it really? You know, we know there's no cure for PTSD. You know, we go to therapy, and cannabis allows us to be able to partake in those things. Right? Therapy, friendships, getting out and doing stuff, exploring new things, trying new things, learning new things. Would it ever be hard, you know, without medical cannabis for me? This is just me personally. Would it ever be difficult to try to do any of the things that I'm trying to do? I turned 55 in a couple weeks, right? And, you know, it's coming up on 20 years since I've been diagnosed with PTSD. And I spent 12 of those years on pharmaceuticals, off and on. And I wasn't a compliant patient either. It made it very easy for me not to take my pills. And so, you can imagine, right? You know? And so here I am now, 6 years on cannabis, as a prescription. There's no way that I could ever be doing any of this while I was on pharmaceuticals. I would have never had the drive or the ambition to want to do anything like this, ever. I could dream about it, but I would never have done it, you know? And like I said, I know my videos are not great, but I feel like they get better each time. And, you know, I have lapses and lulls. I have creative moments, and then I don't. And, you know, life is life, and I try. But at least I'm trying, you know, and I feel like cannabis is what's allowed me to try anyway. Man. Because it was too often on pharmaceuticals that it was easy to give up trying. So anyway, to the 340,000 patients in Canada today that use cannabis, I am so happy for you. I really, truly am. I hope you live in just a great life and you're experiencing new things and enjoying your family, and it'd be awesome. I like to think that's what's happening. 'Cause I am.
So Mike,
What?
tell me something.
What?
How long have you been here? Since 2015?
Yep.
Blue, same?
Same.
Ron?
Same.
Yeah, same. Oh, that was great.
Yeah, I imagine.
Blue is the only man alive to ever go around the Cabot Trail in a lawn chair.
Was that right? Yeah.
And if you don't believe me, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Did the outside loop.
Did the outside loop
What were you in?
in the cannabis.
Cannabis. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
in the
took
cannabis.
my lawn chair with me because it was more comfortable than the seat. Oh yeah. Yeah, them seats were hard.
Oh, they were brutal, weren't they?
Oh my.
It was part of
Yeah,
the
where were we
history.
on our way to then?
Come on,
PEI, I guess.
I think you
Yeah.
just put it on everything, then we'll close the lid. Right. You remember the time we went to Cavendish Beach in the
Yeah.
bus? Right? And do you remember those young guys from wherever, and they said, oh, look at the reefer heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that?
Americans they were.
Yeah.
They're smoking reefers
They're
back
smoking
there.
reefers, man.
PEI.
The PEI, yeah.
Yeah, we
You
were
there.
in behind that building there.
Yeah.
All sitting there in the shade.
In the grass, yeah.
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 Spent 4.5 hours in that stupid bus, man. Oh, just to get to the beach.
You're the only one that went in the water.
It was a long drive not to go in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Alright.
Not bad, you. Oh, yeah.
Dog food wieners. Next Saturday?
No, no thanks.
That's too
Joe,
high.
you want to join?
No, it's not. It's too high. You don't want them to cook too quick. It's not even close to noon yet. 11:46.
Want to join? Let's start.
Well, yes, actually I do. Day or night? Okay.
Okay.
Close to it.
I'm flipping these anyway.
Are you sure?
What?
Nothing?
Sure what?
Just give her. Give her.
I won't sauce. I won't put the burgers yet.
How are these doing underneath? Because I just seen flames.
You like a flip, sir? Yeah.
Ready for a flip? What's that?
They could use another 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, they can use a bit longer before you flip it.
You
I just meant the whole thing, not flip-wise.
Yeah. You keep going. And then we'll put barbecue sauce on that side. Keep going. Just go. I think you're doing the right thing.
Tell me to flip them.
Yeah, flip them.
I'm
Flip
flipping
'em.
those back.
No, just flip them. We'll do multiple flips.
I was gonna leave these longer, but you said no, flip them.
Well, yeah, just you can leave them longer on the other side.
No, I
Get
flip
some
'em.
barbecue sauce on that side.
Sure.
No. Have you medicated lately, Mike?
No, I just did. I'm going as soon as I flip these burgers. Look,
That's what happens.
see? I'm gonna throw temper tantrum on camera. Can't flip burgers.
This is going to take me hours to edit this all. Good chance I'm going on vacation. I got 2 weeks on a mountain.
First time smoking a joint, he burned himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it just fell into my I was looking at the lid into my nose. I was like,
Okay, now. Yeah,
73.
that's right. That's why we have Unit 9.
Joe's in charge. He's the leader of the group.
Actually, I'm not. I'm 25%.
It's not true.
You're only 25% of a vote there, Nick.
That's right. Exactly.
You're still a clan leader.
No. I'm
You said you want to be here.
a little bit more than a spokesperson. Okay, we're going to wrap it up there. Our 7:30 barbecue was a success, and you got to see how we roll 100 pre-rolled joints, so that was a good thing. Coming up in the future, we hope to have more barbecues like that. We'd like to have one a month if we can. It seemed to work well. On video in the future, we plan to do consumption methods and also what Veterans Affairs Canada actually covers for clients when it comes to consumption methods, whether it be vaporizers or whatever. So we're going to dig a little bit deeper into that as well in the future. And one of our big things is peer support, what we used to call peer support. Every second Wednesday night, a bunch of us used to get together, and we still do, at the lounge, at the Client Services Lounge there, and we just hang out. And it's not what you think when it comes to peer support, and we're going to show it to you on video. It's kind of more like just what you've seen today, where it's just clients hanging around with that common bond of medical marijuana, giving them that opportunity to be able to get out and experience these sorts of things in a safe, quiet, controlled environment where, you know, we just, it's all about the positive vibes there, and that's what we're going to stick to. So thanks a lot for watching. We hope to have more videos coming in the next couple months, as well as videotaping some more of our activities on site. I hope you enjoyed it. My name's Joe. Until next time, we'll see you around.